Okay, everybody, we're going to get this meeting going. I just love this little gavel. I'd like to call the meeting of the April 15th, 2024 meeting of the Crooked Creek Art League to order. It's great to see everyone here tonight. Looks like we have a full house, which is great. And we're just looking forward to hearing from Rebecca Horne tonight. She's a member of our art league, and she'll be speaking to us on the topic of abstract art. So Rebecca, we're so glad that you are here to speak with us. So thank you to those also who have provided refreshments for us this evening. If you can make sure and check the list that's over on the table for signing up for refreshments for the May meeting. That will be our last meeting of the year. So we want to make sure we got plenty of refreshments and have a great time for next month. Do we have some new members with us here tonight? Could you stand and just give us your name and maybe what medium you're interested in? Okay. Pottery. Okay. Sounds wonderful. Well, welcome, Amy. Do we have any other new members with us? Yes. Okay. Well, glad to have you with us, Fran. Other new members? Okay. How about guests this evening? Did someone bring a guest? Yes. Can you introduce yourself? Okay. Glad to have you here. Okay. I've had that happen before. Glad to have you here. Any other guests with us? Okay. Glad to have you. Anyone else? Okay. Welcome, everybody. We had a great annual juried show and reception last month. We had over 100 pieces of artwork on display for the community to see. And so I'd like to thank all the members who helped in any way to help make the show and reception such a wonderful event. But a special word of thanks go to Sonia Dimmler and Ciara Panetta, co-chairs of the juried show committee, for all their work during the show as well as throughout the entire year in preparation to make this such a great show. So let's have a round of applause for anyone who helped. So just a reminder that all the winners' artwork that has been on display in the TAP gallery will need to be taken home tonight. So the next TAP gallery display starting tonight will be for those who brought artwork for the theme of Carolina rivers and waterfalls. So anyone with artwork presently hanging, make sure and take it home tonight and make room for other people's artwork to show. So next month's meeting will be our last meeting for the league year. We'll resume again in September. So I'd like to thank Lois Thornhill for heading up our annual May contest, which will take place at our May meeting. On the night of our meeting on the 20th, you may bring one piece of your original artwork, as well as an easel for displaying it. We're going to arrange everyone's artwork around the room in here, so you need to bring an easel to put it on. And we'll all have a chance to look at it, admire it, and pick our favorites. And we can then vote for our favorites. And then ribbons will be awarded for those who get top honors. So after that, all the artwork will be displayed in the TAP gallery for the rest of the summer. So you still have time to figure out what you'd like to bring, but registration closes May 17th. Now, let me just tell you, we don't have many signed up for this so far, only a couple. So this will be our meeting next month. So if only 2 pieces show up, that won't be so good. So everybody get busy, figure out what you're going to bring. I don't think that this contest has a 3-year limit or anything. So you, pardon? Yeah, no limits at all. So paint something new in the next month or bring something that you have already made, but bring something so that we can fill this room with lots of artwork to look at. So just check under the website under the annual contest for all the details and the prospectus. And then the theme for the artwork is sights from around the world. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you've traveled to somewhere, in the world. It could mean that maybe you go to a Mexican restaurant or something and just get the vibe of what it looks like and then paint a painting. Or maybe something that's, somewhere, some other part of the world, but we've got something here that shows. And actually, South Carolina is part of the world. So I don't think you really have to go too far. So there's no excuse. You got to bring something. So anyway, and did I say bring refreshments for next month? Because we're going to have our big little art contest here and we'll want food to go along. So everybody help out. Oh, and also during the May meeting next month, we'll be collecting art supplies for the Epworth Children's Home. So start now to collect items you can donate to the great cause. Lots of stuff like pencils, pens, markers, drawing tablets. There's, anything that kids would like in the way of art. It could be little art kits or something. So just bring something. We also collect that stuff at Christmas time, and we ended up having a lot to bring. And they were just really appreciative when we took it there. So see what you can collect for that. The library show is coming up quickly. Registration will end on Wednesday. And again, I can't stress, we have several that have signed up, but we really need some more artwork to hang up in the library. So if you plan to enter artwork for the show, you'll find all the details and the prospectus on our website. It's not a juried show, but it's a People's Choice winner. Will be selected and awarded a ribbon. Plus, your artwork will be appreciated by all those who visit the Irmo Branch Library. So just remember to bring a signed copy of the library waiver that is attached to the prospectus when you come and deliver your artwork. And again, you can enter anything on this. There's no restrictions at all. So we just need people's artwork so we can have a good showing for the Art League. Reminder, you can go now to our website and register for the upcoming year, or you could pay here tonight if you want. We can collect dues anytime now through September 30th. And the dues are $35 per year this year for general membership and $50 for patron. So the good thing about paying now is you don't have to remember in September to pay. You're already paid up. So speaking of dues, I'd like to recognize our newly eligible lifetime members for the upcoming year. These are people who have been members of Crooked Creek Art League for 25 continuous years. And those who we want to recognize and will be awarded free lifetime membership. And if you're here tonight, raise your hand so we can all see you. Ruth Demira. Okay, there's Ruth. Congratulations, Ruth. Oh. Okay, Ruth. Okay, it's Ruth. Okay. JJ Casey. JJ Casey here. Okay, Joan Marco. Anna K. Singley. There she is. Yay. Just had to get to your name. Rose Stewart. Tommy Thompson. Raise your hand. And Ron Weathers. Okay. So thank you all for your support over these past 25 years. We hope you will be able to continue being a part of our Crooked Creek Art League family. And we do appreciate you and all that you've given to the league. Yes. Oh, okay. Francis Burrows. Okay. Burris. A founding member. That's just wonderful. And I'm sure that as you look at all these people here and know how it started when you first started this, And now to look at how many people are in the league, we have over 150 people in the league right now. So yeah, so we appreciate people like you who saw the vision to get this started. So thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to call Barbara and Sonia up to talk about our new community art project. And then after that, Lainey will come up. So. And you'll need to talk right into the mic.
Yep. Cool. Okay, so, know how much I love public speaking. Hello. I am Barbara Tusink. I don't mind public speaking. No. I am the person who's been coordinating our community art projects for the last couple of years, and we have an exciting new one for this year, and we're just getting ready to release the prospectus, so we want to give you a little more information about it tonight, get you excited about it, get you wanting to participate in it, because it really is all about arts in the community, and we as the artists as a key part of making all of that happen. So we have alternated in some of the prior years between years in which we had individual projects that any single artist or team of artists could work on versus single large pieces that one artist worked on. This year, we're going back to the prospect of doing a collection of individual pieces. So everybody in here can do one of these if you wanted to. So what's going to happen is there's a prospectus that's going to go out online that describes all of the process for it. There's a very minimal administrative fee to put your proposal in for what you would do with your piece in this community art project. And then we after they're completed, we put them all over the community. Everybody in the community loves when we do this. They get very excited about finding the artwork all over the place. We do a scavenger hunt of where the pieces are. We have businesses that volunteer to sponsor as a host for the locations for where they're scattered all over town. And then on Labor Day, with the big Chapin Labor Day Festival, we bring them all back together and have an auction and sell off the artwork that is created for this particular event. A few of them get dedicated to the town and become permanent pieces in town. And actually, the people who buy them through the auction, most of those end up in the public space in town as well. So we've got big sailboats, we've got trail markers, we've got obelisks, we've got murals, we've got stuff all over town. We're going to add to that. So this year, we're going to stick with the theme of the community in which we are surrounded, and we're going to pull in the wildlife theme this year. So this year, it's all about turtles. And Sonia has been critical in getting all of this pulled together for what these pieces are going to look like and be. So I'm going to let her walk you through kind of how we came up with it and how they're being created. And then we can answer any questions about how the project will work. Okay.
Okay. Well, first off, the subject matter, turtles. We had a meeting, Barbara, with the town, and Barbara came with the idea from her husband, Brian, turtles. And I was like, turtles. Ugh. And it stuck because it was the only thing we could decide on that was mutually agreeable. So then my job became really how to fashion this turtle and do the fiberglass forms, because there is a company that does the fiberglass forms for all these public community art projects, but we didn't have time to go with them and probably really couldn't afford it. So I got a hold of the person I knew who could probably do a great turtle, and that's Karen Larrabee, who is here. And this is me holding Karen's original prototype that she brought. And then you can go to the next slide. To my friend's shop. He has a boat repair business, and we had to slather the thing in Bondo, and then we sanded and sanded and sanded for weeks. And we made the thing bright and shiny, and then we made a fiberglass mold, to make the fiberglass. So I am now learning how to do fiberglass. And this is him right before the final mold making. And then you want to go ahead, we'll look at the mold. And that's my friend Kim, who's helping me. And this is the mold we came up with. So this is what we'll be using to create, I think we decided 15 or 12 turtles. I think we're probably going to do 15. Right. Yeah. And they'll look a lot like the model that you saw in the first photo, but they will be a smooth fiberglass primed, and there'd be different ways you can put anything you want on them or just paint them. So anything else?
So you kind of saw in those pictures, they're pretty big. They're about 3 foot around. and they're about 8 inches or so deep. And so we're going to have you, whoever does the proposal, we're going to ask you to do it so that it can be viewed in the round. Because what we're going to do is we're going to mount them on a little post and have them
There'll be different orientations, like one guy will be up and the other guy will be to the side and the other guy will be going down. So they'll be, yeah, good job.
turtles everywhere.
And there is the potential to do 3. So in applications, if you guys are interested, there would be the potential to do 3 turtles.
Right. So what we've got is an application form that you would fill out online. You can submit a proposal for doing 1 turtle, 2 turtles, or 3 turtles. You may or may not get 3 turtles if you apply for 3, but you can at least go for it and see what happens. You can do it as an individual, or you can do it as a small grouping. One person will need to be the lead person to submit the application. Okay. And we've had participants do that both ways before, and it all works out wonderfully. Some people prefer doing it with somebody. Some people prefer locking themselves in their garage and doing it as a secret. So there's a lot of fun that can be done with all of this stuff. And I can tell you that the community just absolutely adores when we do this, because every single piece we do when we do these groupings like this of the artwork, every single piece is so unique, and they just come up with just beautiful ideas and proposals. So I really, really hope you will think hard about being a participant, putting in a proposal to do one of these. A single application, like I say, you could submit up to 3 proposals. We'll depending on how many applications we get, how many proposals we receive, we'll pick the best of those and go with that for the number that we're going to produce. And then we did get a sizable grant from the Central Carolina Community Foundation to help underwrite this project, and we will be getting host sponsorships from the folks that want to have one out in front of their business during the whole summer part of this process. So it should be a good thing. It will help also put a little bit of funding back into our community art kitty. We have a fund that we maintain for doing ongoing community art projects, and it helps fund that and helps underwrite the league as well. One of our core missions is to help promote not only us developing and growing as artists, but also art appreciation in the community. And this is a critical part of making that happen. And it just makes people smile. So anybody have any questions about any of that? The proposal, we hope, will go out this week so that you can start working on your applications and get everything, thought together right now. Anything you want can go on. It has to be done so it can be viewed in the round, because it'll be up on a post. But any other questions? Any questions at all? The turtle is the only theme. You can put anything, well, it's in the public. So anything that's appropriate to the public can go on the turtle. So a whole turtle full of breasts is probably not going to pass. But other than that, it's your proposal. You can come up with whatever your concept is. The theme of your turtle might be, I don't know.
Well, you do want something that's, I think you ask in the request for proposals, something that's town of Chapin.
Well, something that's
Theme.
kind of cohesive to what we're trying to do with the town. But yeah, like, let me think back to the sailboats. We had boats that had iconic locations in town. We had boats that had wildlife from the area. We had almost, just
Ship of Jewels.
ship of jewels. We had a ship full of dogs. That was the ship of jewels. So it really kind of can be, you come up with your concept. It needs to be public friendly, and it needs to kind of fit with the overall objective of putting community artwork out there. But other than that, no, you got a fair bit of latitude in what you do with your particular piece. And that's part of what makes them all unique, which is what's fun. It needs to be outdoor friendly. It will be outdoors, so you'll need to use outdoor friendly paint.
Fast pigments, light fast pigments.
Yes, light fast, very light fast, and it'll need to be sealed so that it won't fade in the sun as well. Joe. Yeah, it needs to basically be acrylic, because the other medium is real, or it can be something adhered to it. Like we had mosaic pieces done before, and that's really neat too. But it needs to be something that's outdoor worthy. Oil is not going to hold up outdoors. Water media, like watercolors, etc., that's not going to hold up outdoors. So acrylics and/or affixed items is probably what you're going to have to go with, just because it has to live outdoors.
Water media could work, but then, you're going to have to prep the surface, and then you're going to just have to have light fast pigments and then seal it correctly. So. Well, we can make recommendations, and send that out to everybody, kind of what we did with the sailboats.
Yeah, we had a list of materials that we sent out for the sailboats, and the mural that we just did, we used all outdoor friendly paints and sealants for that as well. So we can send you the information on that.
And Golden has great info on the products under their resources.
Yeah. Good question. Sandra. For the artist? Yes. There is an artist stipend that we intend to pay, and that will all be listed in the materials that are out there. What we're planning to So you will provide the materials. We will give you a stipend back against materials and time. And what we're planning to do is give a flat stipend, and which will be at the option of the artist. If you want it, we'll give it to you. If you don't, then great. That's a donation to the league. So we'll leave that in your control. And then we also intend the net proceeds from each piece when they go to auction. Not the gross sale price, but the net proceeds, a percentage of that will go back to the artist as well, which for some artists might be a very small amount, and for other artists it might be a big amount. It depends on what it sells for. So does that help? Yeah. Okay. Other questions? Yes. There is a due date for when these have to be. There you go. July 2nd. She knows it better than I do.
Actually, it's before July 2nd. June 28th.
Oh, June 28th.
July 2nd is when they're going to actually go to the businesses. So they will be out for the 4th of July weekend. I mean, that's one of the things we entice businesses with. It'll be out for 2 months. Yeah.
So the prospectus and the application and everything is going to go out this week, and then you'll have a month to get your proposal together and submitted. And then you'll have the rest of all of May and June to get it put together. Okay. Other questions? Yeah. Yeah, we're always looking for people who want to be a host sponsor. And you don't have to be, if there's somebody who wants to help support the effort, you don't have to be a host to sponsor. You can just give a donation as well. But yes, we're always looking for the business liaisons that want to partner with us, and or individual liaisons that want to partner with us to make it possible.
Limited to Chapin businesses.
Yeah. The greater Chapin area is pretty much what we constrict this to. Yeah. Just because of geographic.
And partnership with the town.
Right. And the town is a very big partner to all of this. They really work hard to collaborate with us on all of this and make it a big part of the Labor Day Festival as well. So, all right. Wait, I have one question for, Tommy. Yeah. The form itself is not, in the past we've used aluminum. This year we're using fiberglass. So it is a 3-dimensional fiberglass form that will be prepped for you, so you'll be able to go right to work on it when you get it. Uh-huh. You might want to drive a screw and a bolt into it to attach the hat, actually, if you want to do something like that.
So, and then just have to seal it. Make sure you seal it.
You can affix things to it, yes. It should still look like a turtle. I mean, don't put so much on it you can't tell what it is anymore, but so within the constraint of it still looking like a turtle, you can affix things to it. You can do that by outdoor epoxy heavy glues, or you can do it by putting a bolt and a screw or something to attach it to it. That's probably safer, honestly. And fiberglass is easy to drill into, so you'll just want to seal up good around the hole you'll drill, I would think.
Yep.
Yeah. Good question, though. Other questions? It's a 3-dimensional form.
Yeah,
The bottom is flat.
The bottom is going to be, the bottom is perfectly flat, but it still will be visible because we're going to have the forms standing up on the,
You'd have to drive the screw into the fiberglass form. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to be completely hollow. It's going to be filled with some foam, and we're debating probably putting a little bit of concrete or something a little bit heavier in it to give it some weight, but we're still kind of not struggling, but figuring out how we're going to do the stand and how that's going to attach inside it. But yeah, it'll have something inside of it.
It's a fairly substantial form, though. It's not like a thin layer of fiberglass. It feels more or less solid.
It'll probably be 7 layers of fiberglass.
If that would be a bolt with a nut. Yeah, a screw would be just, yeah. That's the extent of my technical knowledge, but if you have to go all the way through and hook something on the other end, that's a bolt, I believe.
Well, it depends on how heavy the hat is too. I mean, if it's a 30-pound hat.
How big is this hat, Tommy? Okay. All right. Anything else? I love this crowd. It's always great. Okay, I have one question for you. Okay, ready? Who's going to submit a proposal? Come on, put more hands up, people. This is fun to do. All right. Okay. If you have any questions, either that come to you later tonight or after you've read the prospectus or anything, just let us know, and we'll look forward to seeing all kinds of fun proposals and some exciting artwork. Okay, thanks.
Let's give a round of applause to Sonia and Barbara for their hard work. It's hard work what they do. So we appreciate them so much. I want to just announce at this time that the results of the nominating committee from this past year have asked all the current officers, the executive committee officers, if they would remain for next year, and all of them have agreed. So if you are an executive committee officer for next year, this year and next year, would you stand just so that we can recognize you? Okay. I have our president, Yvonne Beyer. Barbara is our webmaster. Stephanie is our treasurer. I'm the vice president. And who else? Anybody else here? Secretary. Yes, parliamentarian. And then Shirley Britton is not able to be here tonight. So we will have the voting on that. When is it? May. Thank you. Okay. I also want to mention real quickly, I don't know if you've made your way down either of the hallways in the park tonight, but there's children's artwork and it is so adorable. Right in this hallway are the older artists. There's some high schoolers and they're really good. And then Sonia tells me that on the other side are the younger children. So if you have time before you leave tonight, go check it out. There are featured members. So really we're excited to see what they're producing. Okay, it's my pleasure to introduce Rebecca. I'm going to read a little bit from her bio. Rebecca's statement says, "I'm compelled to make art. It's something I must do. It's a spiritual experience for me. I feel like I'm working to connect to something divine and express the experience on canvas." Rebecca is a contemporary abstract mixed media artist based in West Columbia, South Carolina. Rebecca began painting as a child whose father was an artist. She's explored many mediums throughout her life, such as watercolors, landscapes, flower and pet portraits, and oil. In 2018, Rebecca discovered abstract. Am I saying too much? Okay. I don't want to steal her thunder. Discovered abstract art and has passionately embraced it as the style of art that evokes and liberates her creative spirit. Rebecca feels this type of art allows her to have full creative freedom when she works. I'm going to let her talk a little bit about that, more about that, and I won't read all of it. She has an extensive bio, and I believe it was included when we first told about this tonight. So if you want to see her whole list of things that she's participated in, ways that she's been participating, you can look at that. But I thought I was just going to mention a few, highlight a couple things. And she, in 2022, she was first place for the Crooked Creek Art League 5th Annual Still Hopes exhibition. In 2023, the Bold Brush Art Contest and Exhibit, she won first place for abstract. In 2023, at Old Santee Canal Fine Arts Exhibition Juried Show, first place for abstract. In 2023, the Jasper Project featured artist solo exhibit at the Koger Center for the Arts. We were so proud that she was able to do that, and a lot of us got to go see that. I did not, but I got to see the pictures. And And then 2023, the Exhibizone Grand Prize International Group Exhibition, Riding the Wave. But there's more. So if you want to see more of her things that she's accomplished, then you can look at her bio. But Rebecca, we're so excited to have you. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca. Nice to see you all. I like it when the podium's up here. No, it's all right. That's exciting about the turtles. I love that idea. I had an idea. I don't have time to make one, but if somebody's thinking of an idea, thank you. Wouldn't it be cute to attach butterflies to the shell? Like they're catching a ride? But I don't have time to do it. Somebody else do it. So I'm not here to give a demonstration tonight. It's too complicated, but I'm gonna tell you a bunch of other things that hopefully, I don't know, might inspire you or make a difference in your artistic journey. And just to tell you a little bit about my story, how I got to where I am today. So we have a little slideshow. That's a piece I did. It's long gone. So all right. So I was lucky enough to grow up with my dad as an artist. He wasn't a professional, but he just was a hobby artist. And so he would let me play, and I painted on my bedroom walls and did all that. And I have a lot of artistic people in my family. His mom was artistic, and his aunt was actually a professional artist in Charlotte, where she made these beautiful portraits of the bankers and the doctors and things like that. And my other grandmother was a professional musician in Columbia. And I was a music major, but I should have been an art major. Okay, that's a piece my dad did. So yeah, I've always been compelled to make art, to do something creative. I'm always making something. I just have that creative gene in me, I suppose. And throughout the years, these are some paintings that I've done. I did this first one, I think I don't know, maybe 13 or 14 years old, with the little pansies. And the dogs I did, it was a Christmas present for my dad. I did it on Christmas Eve with a number 2 pencil because I didn't know what else to do for him. And they're watercolor, pencil, oils. Okay. There's some more. I love animals. I did a portrait of my 2 nieces when they were kids. It turned out well, but I never liked it. And several dog portraits. Okay. And then I think back in the 1990s, I started these, what I call like Middle Eastern rug paintings. I always liked the idea of a rug hanging on a wall. So I couldn't afford one. So I said, well, I'm going to paint one. So I did a bunch of them. And okay, you can. So all that time, I never felt comfortable calling myself an artist. People would say, are you an artist? I would say no. I just make a piece of art once in a while, and I didn't make art on a regular basis. It really was just one or two a year, not even every year. If somebody asked me to make something, I would probably give it to them or charge them a very low amount or trade for something. So I wasn't inspired. I didn't feel like I was being true to myself. And I knew I loved abstract art. And so when I found out about fluid art, I said, well, I think I'm going to give that a try. That looks like fun. And it was so much fun and such a huge mess. But I was so addicted to it. These are just some samples of what I did. I mean, I could not stop making it. And so I just made it and made it and made it. And one day I basically said, okay, I think I've done it all. I'm done. And so a few years ago, I think 3 years ago, I'm not sure, I started with the texture because I said, well, I'm tired of this fluid art. I love textured art, so I want to give that a try. So I took a course in that, and I was hooked once again. And these are just some samples of what I've done over the last few years. But I feel like right now in this time of my life, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I can say I'm an artist now with confidence. I'm an artist, and I'm proud of it. And this is a piece that I wanted to show you because I really have a good time finding fun things to put into the texture. These are dried plant skeletons in there, of all things. And then I put these glass beads in with it to make it look like raindrops or ice or something. And I just have the best time doing that. It's such a challenge to see if it'll even work. A lot of times it doesn't. Okay. And then when I was doing the fluid art, I also messed around with some alcohol inks. And I always wanted to find a way to see if I could combine the two in a way. So I started doing that. I don't do it all the time. I just do it really during the spring and fall because the alcohol ink is so toxic. You want to go outside and do that. But I love the combination of it. And then also the one in the middle is there's a agate slice in it. I'm not a shopper. I don't like getting stuck in stores with people. And I was with my family in the mountains visiting my brother, and we were in a rock shop, and I do my once around, I'm ready to go, but they weren't ready to go. So I was like, oh gosh, when is this torture going to end? So I said, I may as well get comfortable and look around at all the beautiful rocks. And so I started looking at them differently. And I saw the agate slices, which I've always loved. And I said, I think I could put those in a painting. So I've been doing that here and there. I'm still trying to work out the technique to see what the best way is. But I love it. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so I don't know if y'all get asked the question, what's your process? What's your process? I get it all the time. Tell me your process. Like, I don't have a good answer for that. It's all an experiment, really. I'm constantly changing things up, but I will try to explain to you the best I can how I work. All right, before I tell you about this, I brought 3 brand new paintings. I finally had time to make art in the last week or so I got busy because that's not going to last long. One is definitely finished. One, I don't know if it's finished or not, and one's not finished at all. But I wanted to show you the one now that's not finished because it's a fun part of what I do. So don't judge it. You're gonna like this, Sonia. Color. It's not. I'm just starting to work it out, figure things out. But it's mixed media. There's different things in it. And acrylics at this point. I might add to it, I don't know. But last week, this painting was finished. And it was fine. It was creams and dark brown. I looked at it. Well, it's fine. It'd probably sell really quickly. But I looked at it and I said, boring. So this is what I do when I want to spice things up. I close my eyes and I stand where all my paints are. And I literally imagine them jumping up and down in all the tubes and bottles saying, pick me, pick me, pick me. And I open my eyes and whatever stands out at that second, I grab it. So at that moment, my cream painting turned vermilion. I said, oh, great, what do I do now? So I'm just messing with it, just seeing where it goes. But it's so much fun having that as part of my art, you know? All right, so here's part of my process, one of them anyway. This is a painting I did a couple of years ago. So I started with several different texture mediums on here, and I even make some up. And this one, I didn't know what the design was. I just made it as I went along. And the gold is actually a gold crackle paste. And you can see it in the last photo as it's starting to crack. And I'm starting to paint it there. And it takes a couple of days to dry, but that's the finished product. And I think it turned out really well. Okay. All right. This one is terrible. And it's on a big board, expensive panel, but I love the colors. I love the waviness of it, but the composition is horrible. And what I'll do is I'll take a picture and I'll just draw on my iPad some possible fixes. I still haven't figured out, but I'm getting into circles lately, so I'm thinking there's going to be some circles involved. Okay. This one had a lot going on with it. This is what they look at like before I paint them. They're just white. And, you know, it's kind of hard to tell what it's going to look like once I get the paint on there. So a lot of times I'll paint it and I'll say, that doesn't work, and I have to add more texture or change it up some, and you can see the process. But for some reason, I see it better if I take photos and look at it on my phone or iPad. I can see what I need to do to fix it. So that's the process with that one. And that was the finished product. But I decided to add these lines going down the middle that fixed it. Okay. All right, my supplies. I have a lot of art supplies and I love buying them. It's probably a problem, but I'm working on that. It's getting better because there's no more room. Okay, so I took some pictures. By the way, my art studio is my kitchen. These are most of the different mediums that I use for textures. And sometimes I mix them up and make them up and just see what happens. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. These are some extra things that I like to add into the paintings. Little wooden balls, different fabrics, all kinds of stuff. That's a part of my paint. There's a few more shells of that, but those are the, you know, the little bottles that jump up and down, say, pick me, pick me. That's the one that said, pick me for this one. Okay. Different types of paint. Each tube and bottle is something different altogether. Different brands. I don't know why I do this, but I buy the same color in 3 or 4 different brands. But they are different. Okay. All right, and some things I have learned over the past few years, and really I've only been doing this a few years, so things have happened quickly, but I've learned a lot. Like with this one, I'm not worried about what people think about it. I'm not worried about if it's going to sell or if it wins in a show. All I'm worried about is, you know, am I having fun with it? Did I enjoy making it? Have I learned something new? And I have. I mostly learned that I can work with bright, bold colors. And I think I discovered a little pattern in the texture that I really like, and I want to explore that more. But own your creativity. If you're creative, don't be afraid to say it out loud and say, hey, I'm creative. I'm going to do this. So what if it fails? I have a garage full of failed paintings. It's okay. That's how you get better. You do stuff like this and you get better. Try new things. Don't be afraid to try new things. Again, that's how you learn. That's how you grow as an artist. And don't be afraid to fail. We're all going to fail. Not every painting is, you know, that one. That's a once in a while kind of painting. That's what I call my best show pony. All right, make art for yourself. Do what makes you happy. Don't worry about, you know, the people saying, oh, I love that. Will you make this? I get commission requests all the time for, I want, you know, you're getting so popular with your art. Will you paint me a flower portrait? I'm like, I want a piece of your art. I'm like, that's not my art. No. But so what I wanted to say is these 2 paintings, this one's finished. All right, I love this painting. This one went really quickly. I think it's good. I'm happy with it. So I'm talking about trying to figure out about making art that you think people will like. This is what I'm going to with this. All right, this one, oops, I don't love it so much, but I posted both of them on social media. This one has gotten over 100 likes and comments, and they're like, this is the best thing I've ever seen you do. I'm like, what? Okay. This one has barely gotten any, but I love this one. You're never going to make everybody happy. Just do what you love. Okay. So make art that you're passionate about. Again, make art that makes you happy and makes you feel that passion. Just, you know, it ignites that spark in you. And have fun with it. Just, take the pressure off of yourself about trying to make perfect art or your dream painting. Just have fun. Don't worry about it. Just let it go. See what happens. If it doesn't work out, keep trying. And again, don't expect everybody to like your art, especially with mine. Art like this, a lot of times people don't understand abstract art, and that's fine. I get that. But make art for yourself. If they say, pretty colors, I get that a lot. Just say thank you. Keep doing what you love. All right. Already said, don't expect everyone to like it. And change your style if you want to. If you're a watercolor artist and you want to do oil, do it. Try it. Nobody is saying no to you. Only you're saying no to you. Say, what if? What would happen if I tried this? See what happens. Just see. All right, educate yourself. Learn as much as you can about whatever you're choosing to do. But I will say, don't over-educate yourself because it might mess with your creative process. It does for me. If I read too much about composition, it just doesn't work for me. Support other artists, that's big. You get to love and support your artist friends and share their art online, help them grow as an artist. Tell them, I love your art. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. You're getting better and better. And then one of the most important things to me is if you get into a slump, don't stop. Or if you're uninspired or not feeling creative, don't stop. That's the worst thing you can do. Just do something easy that you can make pretty, and it's not going to take a lot of thought. But if you stop, it's the hardest thing in the world to do to get back started, because time goes by, and it's like, I don't have time to do that. I don't feel like it. Don't stop. I had, I guess about 2 years ago, I had a series of unfortunate events happen one after the other, and it got me down for about 7 months, and I couldn't do any big fancy major art. I could just do small things. But I noticed at that time that before I was just, all these events happened, I was just in this magic bubble of creativity. Every day I was just lit up with making art, and having the best time. And then after these things happened, I noticed that change, it was gone. I'd say my mojo was gone. And I tried and tried and tried to get it back, and it wasn't coming back. It was just not there. So I finally realized, well, it may not ever come back like it was. That was really a very special time. But this is different. It's my new mojo. And I think it's smarter. I'm more thoughtful about the art I'm making. It's more mature is what I say. But I didn't give up through all that. Even on days when I don't feel like making art, I'll just play in the putty and make a big mess and throw it out at the end of the day and say, okay, well, that's done. And I keep moving forward to see what happens. But being creative is so much fun and it's such a gift. So don't waste it. I remember before I started doing all this, I sat on the side of my bed and I said, God, I know you gave me this gift, but I have no idea what to do with it, and I don't want to waste it. Show me what to do. And literally, it just started happening. And it's been a crazy ride since then. My whole life has changed. But that's about it. Any questions? Anybody?
How can you tell you mentioned selling your private place or
I have a website, social media. I've sold a lot on social media. I'm in some galleries, and my biggest selling place of the year is the Cottontown Art Crawl. And I try to just do that one. I mean, it's so much work. It's exhausting. So that's the only one I'm currently doing. And I just bring as much art as I can, and I sell a bunch of it. So that's basically how I sell it. For the texture or the paint? Let's see. Oh, this is a medium I made up. For those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, I posted this big blob of blue mess last week or the week before, whenever it was. It was just things mixed together. So that's what that is. And I think I had to go over it a couple times and fill in some cracks because there's so many cracks in there. But I was trying to come up with something lighter and would dry faster, and it took longer to dry, and it made way too many cracks. So yeah, acrylic paint. I think I used, yeah, I love this one. That one, I don't know what to think about that one. It's pretty wild. I like it. It's very interesting, but I just don't know what to think about it yet. Sometimes they just happen like that. I have not. Thinking about. How much control have certain things that you make shapes with, but mostly all of it. Make it some shape. What? Both of those is kind of, for me, it's kind of a half controlled and half not. So I don't know if it's abstract art, but I do control like this part right here. I wanted that for sure. And the rest of it, I just let happen. And sometimes I have to go and fix it. And what was the other part of the question? So currently I'm using everything but oil and watercolor, and I haven't ruled those out yet. I'll probably try those too. But I like inks, I like gouache, acrylics, but I would say mostly acrylics. I'm really getting into Holbein's lately. Just they have such intense colors, so pretty, really expensive. No more questions for you. I do texture with my hands. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I use towels and brushes, and sometimes I do scrub and paint with my fingers. Whatever. I use makeup brushes too. And sponges, whatever.
If you've never used texture before, what would you recommend?
To start with.
Probably some modeling paste or molding paste. One of those. It's easy to use. It's really creamy and
Can you mix the paint with the modeling paste and then put it on, or do you put the modeling paste in and then paint?
what I'll do if I'm using plaster, I will put color in it first. This stuff that I was mixing up, I put blue in it because I wanted, when I was showing you how I take pictures, and I can't really, when it's all white, when it's the texture is dry, I can't really see what's going on with it. So I thought I would try mixing some color in it to see better. It didn't really help. Not me anyway. But a lot of people do that. So that's a great question. What's favorite what? Base?
Canvas panel. Brown.
So if I'm planning to do a piece that has a lot of texture and I think it might be really heavy, I'll do a wood panel. Other than that, canvas. Anybody else?
For the second painting with the blue in it, you said you just made that up yourself. How do you know that, like, 3 weeks from now, I can just pop off the canvas?
I've never had that happen before. Right. But I mean, I don't know. It usually takes me about that long to, finish it. But that stuff is like concrete and glue mixed in together. It's just in there. And sometimes I'll gesso something first. Like if I'm using crackle paste on canvas, I'll do a coat of gesso first.
Give it a better texture, or a better, not texture, but a better tube, better gripping.
Yes, because that crackle can curl up sometimes. And sometimes I like that. And when it's dry, I'll take spray glue, Elmer's spray glue, and glue it. So it's still curled up, but it's on there. I'm sure somebody could pick it off if they worked really hard. But hopefully they wouldn't. A spray varnish. Yeah, different ones, some matte, some gloss. Sometimes I combine the two, like gloss here, matte there. Just whatever I feel like. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome.
I love your work.
Thank you.
And she'll be here afterwards. You can look at her work a little bit more closely and you can ask her some more questions. Oh, did I turn it off? It's on. Nope. Is it on?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Her artwork will be here afterwards for a little while, so you can ask more questions and you can take a look at it more carefully. Oops. No, you can stand there. I'll hide it. Okay. Now for our drawings, we have 3 envelopes here, and Rebecca's going to pick a number between 1 and what is it? 40 something.
Okay, 3.
Okay, 1 and 45. She says number 3, and it is Brian Byer. There you go, sir. You're welcome. Okay, I need another between 1 and 45.
14.
That is Stephanie Arnold. She stepped out. This will be Stephanie's. Okay, and one more.
45.
Ooh, tricky. Joan Johnson? Ha Pays to come last. Okay, if you didn't sign in, will you please sign the sheet just so we have record of the fact that you're here? And always, and now you know, if you didn't know before, that we have drawings every time so that you might want to get a prize. So we'll put this back there afterwards. Was there anything else anybody else needed to say before we dismiss? Thank you. Yeah. Don't forget to check out the artwork.